Sine over 1 plus cosine plus cotangent equals cosecant.
We want to change cotangent to get a common denominator between these two fractions. So we're going to place cosine over sine using our first trig identity, which is quotient identity.
Or we can create a common denominator. So we'll multiply sine over 1 plus cosine times sine over sine on this side. And then for this side, you're going to multiply cosine over sine times 1 plus cosine over 1 plus cosine. And then you multiply across. So sine times sine equals sine squared. Pass me sine squared. Yellow. Yeah. Sine squared. And then you have sine times sine, which equals sine squared theta. And then 1 plus cosine times sine equals sine times 1 plus cosine. And then on this side, it's cosine. You have to distribute the cosine to the one and to the cosine on the other side, so it's cosine plus cosine squared. Now you have cosine squared over sine times 1 plus cosine. And each of these, the denominators are equal now. Okay, stop.
Go.
Now that they have a common denominator, all we have to do is simply add sine and cosine squared together and remove the denominator for this side.
Oh, yeah. And then bring that.
All right, since sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta, if you add these together, you'll get a Pythag identity, which would give you to 1, since the Pythag identity of sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. Your remaining is cosine theta plus 1. So there we go. And then since these can cancel out, you'll cancel these out, and then you're just left with 1 on top. 1 plus sine.
1 over sine theta is a reciprocal identity which equals cosecant theta, which is the final answer. Cosecant.
Tangent minus secant squared over tangent is equal to negative cotangent.
What you want to do is put tangent over 1. Tan and tan equal tan squared over. And tan equal tan squared. And tan times 1 just gives you tan. So now
The denominators are equal. We can subtract both tan squared and secant squared.
Now, since the denominators are equal, we can subtract, and then we can take this tan out because the denominators are equal, and then subtract tan squared minus secant squared over tan.
Based on Pythagorean identity, tan squared over secant squared would turn into minus secant squared would turn into 1. Negative 1.
Negative 1 over cotangent is a reciprocal identity which changes to cotangent, and then you bring the negative, and then that's your final answer, negative cotangent.
So, after doing this project, me and my group realized that setting up these different problems helped us visualize the problems better. We all really liked the project, and now that we have seen it all laid out, we can better visualize all our trig functions when completing new problems. Thank you.